Hey everybody, this is Derek, or Leica101. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a video for Blakbarnz, a fellow YouTube uploader, and he asked me a question about revisiting old campaign settings. I'll read you his email real quick, and then we'll get down into what his email is all about answering it. He says, "Hey, do me a favor. I just asked the community before your return about re-entering a once fond world, a homebrew campaign that we played in over and over. My group wants to play in it again, but it has been several years since we visited this world. Some details have been thrown out because I thought it was over. Some have been forgotten, and some no longer suit my taste. What can you change, and how much? Anything your experience has taught you. Thanks, Barnes." So this question is really about taking an old campaign setting that players have obviously had a lot of interest in and fond memories, and the possibility of tweaking it and changing certain things because of time. Now, I can see the delicate issue here is changing someone's baby, someone's stories, or the possibility of alienating your players too much with any change you do make to the story or to the setting. But you have to remember, Barnes, that even though they like the setting how it is, it's still your setting. You're free to change whatever you want. You don't have to be limited by what the players feel was necessary in the campaign setting before. Now, take that what I just said with a grain of salt. You can change whatever you want, but since you've already played in this setting before, make sure there's a reason for every change that you've made. So let's just say in the original campaign setting, when you were playing in it before, there was, I don't know, a certain deity that was extreme powerful, or that was widely worshipped, and you come back and look at your notes, and there are no notes for that particular deity or why they were so powerful to begin with, and you can't really remember anything about it. So you can throw it out, and when you get into the campaign world and someone says, "Oh, I want to worship so-and-so," you can say, "Ooh, well, you can't." And when they look at you quizzically and say, "Well, why?" you say, "Well, because that deity is no longer in power, or that deity has been assassinated by another deity, or there just is no longer a church." And the reason you can make these decisions is because you're coming back to this campaign setting, and while it has only been, as you said in your email, maybe a couple of years since you played there, a couple of years in our world can be months, years, lifetimes, centuries in your campaign world. You can say, "Oh, well, yeah, we're coming back, but the characters that you once played as are long dead. They're, for whatever reason in the previous campaigns, maybe they've become heroes of legend, or they've faded into nothingness, or anything, really. As long as there's a reason behind what you've done and what you've put into the campaign world." Now, revisiting this world is an opportunity for you. It's a chance for you to see how much you've grown as a DM. Looking back, you said that there are some things that no longer suit your tastes. Well, ask yourself, why were they in there to begin with? What about them struck a chord with you, why it doesn't now, and really take it as a learning experience, so that way you can see how you've progressed as a DM and then build upon that, what you've learned from that, and build on it, so that way you can see how much you can still learn. So take this as a real learning opportunity, and the bits and pieces that you don't like, how can you twist them, maybe a lot, maybe a little, and really make them into something special, or throw them out entirely and throw in something new. Again, revisiting this old campaign setting is going to be a chance to visit old friends, so while you may not remember everything, your players are going to remember a heck of a lot more than you do about stories. I don't want to say that for everybody, but for me it happens a lot. I'll get characters who say, "Hey, do you remember 2 campaigns ago or 3 campaigns ago we did this and this with so-and-so?" "Yeah, of course I do. I remember that." "No, I don't." I don't remember that. It could have been some small one-on-one thing that we did one session in the middle of a campaign where they met some small NPC that I just wrote up as a filler moment and the players really latched onto. Going back to your setting like that is an opportunity for you to meet with your players and say, okay, what do you remember? What really made the campaign special for you? What made the setting special for you? And then take those little tidbits that they give you and build it into something big for coming back to this campaign setting. You can change it all around. You can take the little tidbits that they give you, explode their ideas into something huge, and make something out of it. So I guarantee you they'll fill in the gaps that you can't remember things 9 times out of 10. There'll be something that you completely forgot about that they'll remember. And likely as not will help you rebuild this campaign setting. Now, keeping with the player concept, when you do finally sit down and play this campaign setting again, because it's been a while, there may be there may be opportunities that arise where you'll do something as a DM that you think will have fit into the world, and a player may look at you and say, Barnes, that's not how that worked last time. I remember doing this with so-and-so, or with this character, and it worked this way, and that's not how you're describing it this time. Which is no fault of your own. You've been playing a bunch of campaigns, you've been running a lot of games, you've been doing other things. You don't remember how you made something work one time, if it only happened once or twice. But remember that you still have creative control. You still have that DM card in the back pocket that says, well, this is how it works this time. And again, all you have to say is, it works this time because. As long as you include that word because and some new explanation of how things work in the world, because it's been so long, you're golden. You're still perfect. You can do whatever you want. I think the basic point I'm trying to put here is that this return to your old campaign setting is going to be a very unique opportunity. It's not only a chance for you to see how you've grown as a DM, it's your opportunity to go back and change things that you didn't really like about the setting, or add things to it to make it even better. And it's like going back and reading one of your favorite books, or watching one of your favorite movies again. You know how everything's going to happen, but it's still exciting. It's your chance to go in as keeping with the movie theme, it's your chance to go in as the director and add in those scenes that you really wanted to see but didn't have the time or money, keeping with this metaphor, to really put in there. So don't be afraid to change things, Barnes. I keep changing things in my own campaign setting. It's part of why it's still a homebrew. It's not a published product or anything on any of our parts who do homebrew. It's our chance to still make things change and grow and evolve. So I hope that answered your question, Barnes. I really wanted to get this video out to you. I saw your comment and thought it was appropriate to put out a video for you. I hope you have the best of luck in bringing this campaign world back to life. If you have any other questions, Barnes, or anybody else has any other questions, just let me know. Hope this has been informative for not only Barnes, but for everybody else who watches my channel on this revival of a homebrew campaign setting. Thanks for watching, folks.